Today in the crypto space, we're seeing the market look nice and green. Bitcoin up approximately 5%. Ethereum also up approximately 6% deep in the green. And of course, carrying those altcoins to higher levels, we have Solana, AVAX, Polkadot, Tau, Say, and many others climbing to higher levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that is looking like it wants to take off and everybody's buzzing about it. It's potentially AVAX time. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market, guys. We're seeing lots of green, which I appreciate. I love it to see the market cap rise up approximately 3.7%. We're seeing the market cap above the 2.2, hitting the 2.3, which is really good. $2.3 trillion is pretty much the previous high in market cap. We're going to the all-time highs to 3 trillion, guys. Volumes coming in, trading volume. Is this the beginning, guys? Is this the beginning for the next leg up where we see Bitcoin break above previous highs, altcoin season, huge rallies up? September's almost done, guys. We're almost done. We're almost done. We can definitely start anticipating the October madness kicking in. And we've seen it led by Bitcoin. Get Bitcoin right now, and also Ethereum. Ethereum is doing great, up 6%. Of course, Ethereum was looking pretty bad. But now we see that Bitcoin is rallying up and breaking out. We know it has a large cap, the two large caps doing well. That gives us a lot of sentiment, obviously bullish sentiment. We see BNB looking pretty good as well. And as we keep on going down, guys, you're seeing a lot of good price action. Solana is up 9.7% today. Pretty good stuff there. If we keep on going down, you can see the market is healthy. AVAX waking up as well. Today, I want to talk about AVAX, guys. I know we're a little bit late for that price action. We've been focusing on rotation, but I still feel it's a great opportunity. Definitely still in a little bit of a downtrend, still looking for its change of character and structure. And if we can kind of get ourselves into the break of the structure, the change of the character of the structure, that gives us a great entry. So we're going to be watching out for AVAX entries. If you're bullish, this is what we're going to be looking for in the next little while. What else do we have here? Chainlink also moving up, and you can see the rest of the market is super green. Pepe, Aptos, you name it, is doing good. BitTensor climbing up 15%. We have IMX, Filecoin popping to previous highs, Injective waking up a little bit. But as we see a lot of these projects wake up, guys, we do have to understand that a lot of them are still bottom dwelling. They're still at the bottom of the range. They're still at horizontal levels. They're still basically producing that floor price. I get it. 8.5% is good. A lot of us are quite happy with these types of gains, but if you start zooming out, a lot of them are still at the bottom of the range, right? So we have to keep in mind that, yeah, maybe today's green and we might be fearful of FOMOing in and buying local tops, but the key word here is local tops. You're not buying the tops. And the reality is that you're still trying to accumulate within a range that's at the bottom. So you're at the top level of a bottom range. We have to understand that we won't catch those bottoms. We won't be able to snipe those bottoms at the absolute bottoms. We're gonna have to DCA, even if it means that our average entry might be a little bit higher than it was yesterday. But ultimately, you have some exposure for the big picture moves. Is seeing projects hit the previous highs, all-time highs, and price discovery, guys. This is what we're really looking for. VeChain waking up a little bit. We see a lot of good. Dogwif had the meme coins are waking up a little bit. Thor, Chain, Rune. I'm in a bit of a position on Rune right now, so it's doing pretty good. Margin position, low leverage, lots of margin. giving myself a lot of wiggle room, which I appreciate, because then it's very low risk scenario, or very low emotions when you're getting into a lot of margin. So I appreciate those types of trades, especially right now where we're trying to, raise capital, and it's a great way to raise capitals with low leverage positions. At least think about it. If you can double your entry just by going 2x, that means that you have double exposure for a nice swing trade, right? So are we doing good as well? 10%, guys. Celestia, and the list goes on. Guys. I'm not going to get into that much detail here because you can see it for yourself. But ultimately, what we're seeing is the market is pretty much up approximately 10%, give or take. Obviously more, some of them a little less, but 10% for the altcoins today. Not bad, not bad. All right, guys, you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? The heavyweight definitely is moving, and we're seeing it break above all kinds of resistance. 200 daily, horizontal resistance, and now reaching the previous high. Could it be resistance, in fact, where we get rejected at this point, at this previous high? All is possible. Let's prepare. Let's see what's going on here in a little bit more detail. Now, obviously, guys, we have to be defensive on, moves to the upside. We're in green, obviously, but the issue is that we still have to have a big picture perspective, because big picture, yeah, we're still in a consolidation, and we're actually waiting for a break of the structure, which would mean a continuation to the upside, to the upside, breaking the structure to the upside, which is what we're really looking forward to. Now, obviously, in order for that to happen, we need to break above this little local top at 64,700, give or take, right? If we can break above that, guys, that's bullish. If we can break that high and start making higher highs and eventually break this trend line, which is a resistance at this current moment, a resistance level, we definitely have to anticipate that the altcoins, the rest of the market, will get super, super bullish. At this point, you know what? I'm bullish. I remain bullish until otherwise, guys. We could remain bullish here. Sorry, guys. We could remain bullish until if we do come back below the 200 daily. At this point, I don't see it happening. So we got to remain bullish. We could continue to the upside and prepare accordingly. Now, we can see that the EMA is on the trend. Expansion moving up. Really nice purple expansion. EMAs, green histogram bars. Everything is looking great here. We got a bit of divergence that we identified way early. We see the momentum in the trend oscillator pushing to the upside, and we can also confirm that there is divergence by the expansion waves getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Guys, these expansion waves have been killing it in the last little while, giving me a lot of confluence into pivot points and changes of direction and momentum. Guys, if you want more information regarding this oscillator, I do have links in the description, and of course on the Discord I got a lot more information to get yourself involved into this indicator. All right, let's move on. Bitcoin is doing good. And what about the rest of the market? Doing well also. Should we be rotating some of our gains, or at least DCAing in some other projects? Guys, today is one of those days where I was really reflecting on the fact that maybe Bitcoin is not where I want to be at the current moment. Maybe I should be rotating into other altcoins. Of course, AVAX on my list, Injective is on my list, and so many others. Larger cap, of course, talking about $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 billion market cap projects that have a lot of stability still, a lot of good ecosystem growth, a lot of good upgrades, a lot happening, but price action is still in a retracement. And this is something that I have to be very clear about. If you're going to focus on Bitcoin's price action, you have to understand Bitcoin's in a very different position than a lot of the altcoins. Bitcoin is pretty much doing one of these up here, getting a flag, looking for a continuation, whereas a lot of the altcoins have already retraced in such a way that they are retracing to very important levels of horizontal support. For example, AVAX. This is basically, the price action is touching previous highs right here. Now, there is liquidity clearly below that could definitely be hunted. Lots of emotional entries, lots of emotional individuals right around this level, but I still stand by my, buy zone, which is this yellow box. This is a DCA zone that I identified way back. And I said to myself, if we come down into this level, this is where I would be happy to DCA. And of course, green arrows, over time, the green arrows definitely need to be dragged over, because we do come back to these levels and we DCA, and we build positions. And as we build structure and achieve lots of confluence, we achieve confidence. And as our confidence builds, so should our position sizes. Now, as we can see that although we are at horizontal support, doing very well, we're getting very minor signs of change of character, which for me is an important thing. Right after a downtrend, we want to see a change of that direction in this trend to the upside. We did get a higher low. Perfect. Now let's get a higher high, guys. If we get a higher high, the market's going to start to interpret this scenario as a pivot point scenario where we can start seeing the price, instead of falling, we can start to see it rising. We are still early. So this is what I'm trying to say here, guys. And this is what I was trying to say earlier on. Despite this green today, we have to zoom out and see what AVAX is doing. AVAX is still trying to form its transitionary structure from bearish to bullish, and this is where the magic happens. This is where the risk should be taking, DCing, deploying dry powder, and understanding your invalidation, because of course no trade, no entry is 100% secure. The invalidation, of course, is breaking below these bottoms, and of course the wick brings in ambiguity. I get it, but let's take a look at some of these oscillators. The oscillators at this current moment are showing all kinds of divergence. Look at the momentum. The momentum, in this case, you can see price action falling, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum right into here. We're getting some follow through right now, which is class A bullish divergence. And then obviously follow through is looking good, where we can see the momentum hit overbought conditions, right? So right now we're making lower lows in the price action, double bottom on the momentum. That's class B. And then right into here, all of a sudden we start to get follow through. So I would have loved to see class A bullish divergence, but sometimes we don't get it. But if we do follow through with the class B, at least we might go sideways a little bit longer, giving us an opportunity to deploy more capital. However, guys, these expansions in the last little while, I would say in the last month or so, my expansion oscillator here has been giving us great signals. As the price action is coming down, you can see the strength of the bears literally getting smaller and smaller. Look at this impulsive move wave down, and then look at this impulsive move wave down. This one is a lot smaller than that one. Even though the price is falling, the strength in the impulse is weaker, which gives us that indication that the bullish divergence and the divergence also in expansions are definitely here, and we could see some major follow through for AVAX. And a lot of projects are doing this right now. It's not just AVAX. Okay, so just keep that in mind also. In addition to that, we did identify that this was a great time to buy when the volatility came down to oversold conditions. Guys, I have these charts, prior charts to AVAX, all on the Discord if you want to go and reflect on some of the setups and how we came up with the conclusions, or even the thesis. At this point, this is where it was a great time, and you can see that it was really a good time to buy in. Now all of a sudden we are, contemplating on whether we're going to get a pullback, or if we're going to get a continuation to the upside, if we're going to start changing the character. And I understand that I don't buy tops, but this is a local top, guys. This is the actual top. This is a local top where you're trying to change character in the direction to the upside. Let's take a look at the trend oscillator. Let's see what we're doing here with trend. Still indecisive, a little bit choppy here, but clearly trending to the upside. Clearly you can see these EMAs trending to the upside, and you also see the expansions right here getting that bullish divergence. We'll identify what kind of divergence we're getting in a second, but you can see these EMAs, these moving averages right here are trending upwards. Little by little, we're getting into the bullish control zone. In fact, you can see the EMAs right now are facing up, green histogram bars in the bullish control zone. So is this the last dip before we actually get into the major levels of bullishness above the 0% mark of the oscillator, like we have done in the past? Like right here, look at what happened here. Nice expansion. And if you marry that up with the price action, this is where we kind of want to get from bearish to bullish, expanding upwards. Guys, look at these impulses. This is what we want. This right here, these right here, this is what we want. So as we go into that zone and get into the bullish control zone, could we expect that AVAX continues running? This is some of the concern. So let's take a look at this from a setup perspective. I'll be honest, right now it's a bit tough, but it's still not done. If you get in right now and you start building positions, you have to be aware of the resistance that's right above, okay? You have the resistance of the previous high, you have the resistance of the 200 EMA, you have a little bit of volume and emotion caused by these bottoms, but you do have an empty volume gap right there. So what I would be doing here, obviously none of this is financial advice, guys. Make sure you do your own research and you do your own analysis as well. But if you can use me as an indicator and you can use me as a bit of confluence per se, I would say, like, if you're going to get in right now, your risk is basically if we break below, you know, 19, 20 dollars, right? That's a 26% dip. This is the beauty behind larger cap altcoins. Dips are not that bad, right? I know if we looked at a micro cap, this thing would be dipping down 50% or something like that. So it's not that bad. But ultimately, what we're looking at is, look at this resistance that we got here, right around here. Obviously, risk to reward is out the window. In this case, completely out the window. But we should be thinking about long-term hodl positions, long-term positions for bull run, top of the bull run, price discovery scenarios. So let's hypothetically that we want to get that, but we also want to be modest. Let's say that we get resistance here, and I'll explain why. Because really, that's where a lot of emotion begins. This was once a volume gap. It's no longer a real volume gap anymore. It is a bit of weakness if we include all this price action. But you can see that if we get to this level, we have a few tops. This is areas of resistance. Be careful, previous highs, that kind of thing. In fact, what I really want to do right now is get rid of this box because it kind of is no longer valid. We put it in really early when we were painting this price action. It's time to update. So let's move on. Let's get rid of that. Now, if we do get to this level, just understand that I could see an emotion, but look at the risk to reward ratio. You're up 100% if that pop happens. The risk to reward ratio is 4-to-1, which is healthy. And ultimately, we can still have the opportunity to DCA down and improve our current entry. And this is what I was trying to say is that, you know, you're buying local tops, so you can't get in go all in. What you should be waiting for is an opportunity to improve your entry by DCAing. And sometimes, you know, a good strategy is using a 30-30-40 rule, 30% right now, 30% down here, and 40% all the way at previous lows, and have your invalidation, that stop loss, all the way down here. And if you do that, you could probably get your average entry right around this level, which improves your obviously risk to reward, even if it is now 124% to the upside, and we're not even talking about all-time highs, right? But it also improves it if you want to get into a short-term spot trade and take a bit of profit right here and rotate, because you're up 38% and your loss is 14% with the 2.6 2.6 to 1 ratio, which is still not bad, okay, if you think about it. So what I'm trying to say is if you can improve your entry, you can improve your risk to reward ratio, and ultimately you can get in a quicker trade, get in, get out, and start diversifying your portfolio through the gains that you make on trades such as this one right here if we get that nice reversal to the upside. I think AVAX has a lot of utility. Its ecosystem is growing. It's definitely really bullish. Obviously, guys, do your fundamental research so you can be bullish at a fundamental level. That way, when the price does fall, you feel comfortable buying the dip. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. Of course, if you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. See you tonight at 8 p.m. EST. And don't forget, buy the dip.